Oh gosh.
You know we can hear all that. They can hear all that during the countdown. You sneezing and oh gosh and all.
I'm just being a human.
They can hear that too.
What if there was a podcast where one NFL legend talked about football? What about two NFL legends, huh? What about three? This is Wideout's World, where the gridiron comes alive. NFL legends Fred Barnett, Irving Fryar, and Michael Timpson. Three NFL legends, breaking down the game from the ultimate insider perspective. Game recaps, upcoming previews, and exclusive analysis straight from the minds of those who've been in the trenches.
Yes.
Wideout's World. Let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Lord have mercy. Look at this cat.
Oh, hey, what's up?
What's he doing, man? What is he doing?
Fellas?
He's just tainting our show.
What's that?
Like we just a bunch of alcoholics.
I'm your host
No,
tonight,
no,
and
we're gonna leave that to
I'm the
him.
hostess with the mostest.
The host is with the
I'm your
most.
host tonight, Fred Barnett, with the two legends. I'm not a legend, but I'm with the two legends.
Yes, you are.
Michael
You're
Timpson
NFL. You're NFL legend. You're NFL legend.
And
Or you
the
are you
Irving
allegedly?
Fryar.
Or you just allegedly?
I'm allegedly. The Irving Fryar. Welcome to Wideout's World, where we are about to run a different route on you. And trust me, we will be open. We are open every time. What's up, guys?
I like that. I like that, Fred. Was that original? Yeah, you practiced.
I just spit that out. I just do that, man.
That's pretty good, bro. We make you the host every week.
Hey,
You come up with stuff like that every week. You got it, bro.
hey, man. Hey, man. I'm
Yeah,
talented, bro.
yeah.
What's up, guys? What's up? How was your weekend?
Good. It was a quick weekend. We had a little Monday was Veterans Day. Happy belated Veterans Day to all the vets.
Yep.
Appreciate your service. I have some vets
Yes,
in
sir.
the family, like you guys may have some vets in the family. So we appreciate them protecting and serving us.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. What
Shout
about
out to
you,
the vets. Shout out to the vets. Nothing real taxing this weekend. Working as usual, grinding as usual. I think we all were successful on all of our picks this weekend, though, because we had the same picks. We all three had the same picks. Ain't that right, Mike? Yeah.
With Tree and O, we were all
Yeah.
up Tree
I
and
think
O.
we all
Tree
won.
and O.
Yeah. We all were successful this past weekend for the first time.
For the first time,
I was
we're
sweating
all
there
on
for
the
a
same
minute,
court.
though.
I know. In that Pittsburgh game, I was sweating too. But actually, like I said, I wanted Washington to win that game because I wanted the game between the Eagles and the Washington Commanders to be a more important game than it is now because they lost.
Yeah. But
So-
you know who
thought
you know who I can't wait to
Didn't you
talk
pick
to?
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, we all said Pittsburgh.
Yeah. But fellas, you know who I can't wait to talk to? Doggone
that?
Richard Melton. You know, he told us we was crazy when we all picked Miami.
Oh yeah, he might not come on tonight. I see. Eddie Casper. Eddie Casper is on. The Bunker,
Eddie.
Philadelphia legend. The Bunker is
Bunker.
on. He said, "What's up, fellas?" Yeah. And Eddie Casper is on. What's going on? Shout out to both of you. We'll wait to see if Richard Melton comes on. Let's see if he hides tonight. If he hides tonight.
We're right on track with everything. We're doing our wide receiver of the week. We're doing our surprise. As a matter of fact, we're going to start out with our news of the week. Then we're going to do the wide receiver surprise, and then we're going to go to the game of the week, and then our Thursday, Sunday, and Monday game.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of interesting news, and I'm interested to hear what everybody, what kind of stood out for everybody. Mike, let's start with you, Mike. I'm gonna leave Irv for last because I know Irv always have some interesting.
Oh, Mike don't have no interesting stuff.
No. No, see, you see that, Mike?
Stir the pot.
You see what he did?
You just you know what? Just let him go. You just
See,
you
I
gotta.
gave him a trophy,
Uh huh.
and he looked at the both of us and just laughed.
I did not.
All right, Irv. I know, Irv. I know you
No,
older than everybody. And you
I
played-
hear
and
what
you played
people
for
say, but I
25
also
years.
I hear what people say, but I also hear what they don't say.
Okay. Well, I didn't say that to say something else, but you know what? I got you. So be on the lookout. I'm
let
good.
it go. Just
I'm
let it
pretty
go.
good with figuring stuff out like that. I got
Well,
you.
I just told you, so you don't have to
No,
figure
no,
anything out.
Just
Mike,
let
go
him
ahead.
go, Fred. Fred, just let him
No,
go.
I got
Let
it.
him go, Fred. All right.
Let him slip
My
up
news.
again. I got it.
And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. So what I've been hearing all week, and it's important to me because he's a Penn Stater. And you know where I'm going with this. Micah Parsons. Okay, here's the problem. He has a mic in his face too much. He has a podcast. Every time they stick a mic in there, he's giving them sound bites. So now this latest, as you all know, he talked about Coach McCarthy. He can just, walk out the door, and the whole thing he says was misinterpreted. Here's the thing. Stop talking so much. Stop talking so much. He's just, every time he's getting an opportunity, he's talking and the wrong thing is coming out. I think he's a great player, but at the same time, you got to know, particularly when they make you the captain, they look at you for leadership. I would hope that at some point he takes that role on a little bit more seriously and stop just saying things that's bullet board material, going to tear the team apart. You're already hurting. Just say, hey, we need to go to work. We need to keep grinding. We need to get better. I would love to win a championship for Martin. Is that the guy he quoted? And that type of thing. Leave the coach out of it. Some things you just don't say.
What exactly did he say?
Well, his whole thing was they had asked him about his head coach, and then he just mentioned that
McCarthy.
if McCarthy walked out the door, it's no problem. If he was tomorrow just up and leave, it's no problem. And it came across as though he was saying that he didn't care about the coach. And then he said these other guys, he cared more about them because they put in more work than McCarthy ever has.
And he called first of all, the Cowboys are a mess. They're a mess. They in that game against Philadelphia, there were several times they looked like the Keystone freaking Cops, just stumbling and fumbling over each other. They're a real bad mess, and this is not something that's going to be fixed for several years. It's going to take them a while to even become competitive again. So that's number one, why he needs to keep his mouth shut. Number two, he called those guys, the players, he called them legends. He's not a legend. They're not legends. They ain't played. Most of the guys that are playing on the team right now are guys that are, low round draft choices and free agents, that have been signed. All the value guys are hurt and aren't playing. So they're not legends, and he's not a legend yet. He hasn't played long enough to be a legend. His verbiage and his description of those he's talking about, the players that are there on the team, was inaccurate. But like you said, Mike, just keep when stuff is bad like that, when you're getting your behind whooped like that, keep your doggone mouth shut and put your head down and go to work.
You run from the microphone. Avoid the microphone.
Hold up. Let me add this.
Okay.
Let me add this. And I totally understand and hear what you're saying. But when you are in a bad relationship, you tend to do things to make sure that other individuals know that you don't want to be there. In my opinion, I think Michael Parsons is allowing or letting the Cowboy organization know that I do not want to be here. I don't want to give you any kind of evidence or thought that I want to be here a minute longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do stuff like this. I'm going to say stuff like this so I can get out of this relationship that I don't want to be in. He don't want to be in a relationship. He don't want to be on that team.
And that very well
reason.
could be, but also you got to be careful with that, Fred, because what that does is it plants a negative seed in the minds of other teams. So we know he's a great player, but do I want that cancer in my locker room? You know, because of things.
Some teams won't. Some teams will say yeah.
Right,
Some teams
right.
won't.
But if we bring him to our team and things don't go the right way on our team, is he going to start acting like this again?
Let me tell you something. All that take, Irv, is an interview.
No.
Say, why did you want out of there? And when he says this, and they be like, all right, yeah, you good.
But like I
see
said, then things go wrong on our team. He's going to want the same thing. He going to do the same thing.
But you know what? You know what? Somebody brought up this point, and I agree with them. And I agree with what you said, Fred. But here's the thing. I don't think he wants
It's
to
not
be
the
there.
right way to do it.
But you know what? I wouldn't leave it up to him. First of all, they're going to blow up the whole thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
His butt would be
it's
trade
not.
bait. Somebody had mentioned it. Trade. I would get his butt ready to be traded.
Herschel Walker trade. Get 11 players for him.
I get everything I could for him. I get
11
his butt out
players.
of there. Yep. Sure
Get a whole defense for him.
Sure would. There you go. I'd take care of that.
The bunker said legends are winners. And my mother is on. She said, hey, guys. My sister's on. She said, what's up, wow? And guess who decided to join us? Richard Melton. He said, them Cowboys.
Hello, Mr. Melton.
He said, $, oops, I mean trash. How about them Bills, though, 8-2, second in the conference?
Well, we'll get to them. We'll get to them.
Yeah, we'll get to the Bills.
Hey, Richard, what about you telling us we ain't know what the heck we was talking about on our last pick? You're not going to just slide by, Richard. You're not going to just slide by. But okay, we'll get him. But yeah, that's the whole thing. The news that I had was Michael Parsons.
Michael Parsons. Yeah, that's.
All right, I'm gonna let Irv. You know what, Irv? I'm gonna let you go first because Mike done held me accountable.
You want me to go now?
And I go last. Yeah, I go last. I'm the
Okay.
host. You go.
All right. So my news of this week is kind of personal. It really intrigues me when I'm watching games, and you know I've been out of the league 24 years now, 23 years. I've been gone. I played 17. I've been out 23 and a half years, and it really intrigues me and surprises me when I'm watching a game and I see one of the coaches on the sidelines that used to coach me, and they're still coaching. And I tell my wife, oh, that's Coach so-and-so. He coached me. Here it is 23, 24 years later, and he's still in the league. As much as the league has changed, as much as the players have changed, these cats are still coaching. And I saw in the news that Broncos assistant head coach Mike Westhoff, he's stepping down to deal with a potential health issue. Now, Westhoff was my coach down in Miami. He's 76 years old, y'all. He has issues related to his vision. And last week he went and went and undergo some testing, had an MRI, and after consultation, with the doctor and a conversation with Sean Payton, he decided to go back home to Florida. This is his second season with the Broncos. He's been coaching for 33 years in the NFL, mostly special teams. He began in 1982 with the Colts.
Yeah.
His longest run with any team was the Miami Dolphins. When I was down there, he was a special teams coach and the tight ends coach.
It was there when I was
When you got there, yeah, because you went the year after I left, or the same year I left.
Yeah.
1986 to 2000 is how long he was with Miami Dolphins. Then he went with the Jets from 2001, 2012, then 2 seasons with the Saints with Peyton in 2017, 2018. Then he rejoined Sean Payton with Denver in February 25th, 2023. Y'all seeing coaches. There's another coach in the league, and shout out to Coach Westhoff. I hope that he's okay. I pray that he's okay. It's been good seeing him on the sidelines, lasting that long, doing his thing for 33 years. But even Danny Smith, I don't know if you guys know who Danny Smith is. He's also special teams. He's special team coach for Pittsburgh. He was my coach. He was here in Philadelphia when I was here. And DB's coach. So he's been with the Lions and the Bills and Washington Steelers. So it's just intriguing to me. And my heart goes out for Coach Westhoff because he was a good coach. He was a good man, did his job, didn't bother nobody, made sure the special teams was prepared. And if he did coach the DBs or coached any other position, he was always there, always a positive figure. And he's someone that I'll always remember. So I hope that if it's his desire to come back and coach, that he's able to do that after he shakes off whatever it is he's dealing with his health.
The fraternity
Good
is
stuff,
real.
good
Once
stuff.
you're in, you're in. The fraternity is real.
Yeah. But again, I don't know if you guys,
Very real.
I don't know if you guys get excited when you see one of your old coaches on the sidelines today in today's game, but I do. I'm like, he's still coaching.
Still coaching.
So
Still
shout out to
coaching.
Coach Westall.
Cool. Well, guys, I have a interesting in the news.
Uh-oh.
There's you know what? Let me say this. There is smoke in Chicago. And where there is smoke, there is a fire. The Chicago Bears scored 3 points against the New England Patriots this weekend. And because of that, Shane Waldrop was fired. Now, the interesting thing about that, it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And, you know, I heard that, and all of a sudden I started to look into it, and I was like, oh, I just start falling down a rabbit hole. I'm like, oh, my goodness. It was unbelievable. And some of the things that you're going to hear about the Chicago Bears right now is going to be unbelievable. The Bears right now are 4-5. Coach Eberflus, 2.5 years ago, came to Chicago, a little over 2 years ago, came to Chicago with 19 assistants. And now, mid-third year, 8 of those guys are gone. Now, Waldron is gone after nine games. He hired him this year to oversee Williams and, you know, his development. But Waldron is gone. Waldron is the third coordinator gone in 2.5 years. The third coordinator gone in 2.5 years. Over the last 15 months, a year and 3 months, 10 assistants have left Chicago, and 8 of them by resigning or even dismissal. So at some point,
Yes, sir. Amen. Amen. Before you
it's-
finish,
it's-
amen.
Need to chop the head off.
The food, Irv, you can take this to the church tomorrow.
Chop the head off.
Is it the food? Is it the recipe, or is it the cook? Somebody's at fault because something is not tasting right.
Chop the head off.
Something's not tasting right. Is it the cook, or is it the recipe? Of course, this comes off, as I mentioned, a 3-point showing against the Patriots, in which Williams, you know, I think we all had our opinions about Williams. You know, I think he's a little bit flamboyant, and I think we all agree to this, that you know,
That's
this
the
is
league.
Caleb
You
Williams.
get over that. That's
the
the league,
NFL
yeah.
is not going to be college football. Of course, you made your NIL money on you know commercials and just, you know, your social media, whatever. Oh, you're going to have to play to make your money now. You know, and of course, you know, he was a franchise guy, but he went this past weekend. He went 16 for 30, 120 yards, no touchdown, no interceptions, which is good. 4 yards. I see you, Mike. 4 yards.
4
A
yards.
pass. 63.2 quarterback rating. 9 sacks.
9 sacks.
Now,
Yeah.
let me add to that.
Bears are bad.
He's the leader in sacks and getting sacks.
That's not a
And the
stat you want to
interesting
lead
thing
in.
about that- That's not a stat you want to lead in. But the interesting thing about that is that you bring a guy in and you make him your franchise guy. You give him a bunch of money. You give him a whole lot of money. And then he plays at a different mindset in which you think he should. But what do? You try to match him with coaches to coach him to that point. And inevitably, he's part of the problem. And that was the news for me, because I think it's in a topsy-turvy type of situation, because it's like Eberflus is gonna keep probably bringing these coordinators in, trying to fix this guy, and it's gonna be a balance of when Williams gets it. Because in my opinion, I could be wrong, and please correct me, God. I would say that if a guy is coaching at the NFL level, I'd say about a 75, 80% at the lowest, he knows what he's doing. Could be wrong.
He should.
There's some guys.
He should.
There's some guys who he should. There's some guys who like. I've been coached by guys. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? No, I don't.
And I've been
no.
coached by guys. I know what you're talking about. I've been coached by coaches like that as well.
We don't do that. I don't do that. That's not possible. So there's a balance of putting on the scale. I'm like the coaching part, and then the maturity and the understanding and the IQ of the quarterback, because he's going to lead your offense. And guys, I really love your feedback on this. Based on all that information, with all the coaches Eberflus has brought in, and everybody just literally just flying the coop, or they getting fired in the past 3 years. Is he the problem, or the coordinator the problem, or at this point is Williams the problem?
I'll be real brief. Eberflus is the problem. And all he's doing right now is buying time. Because when he goes into that meeting on Monday and meet with the owners like, hey, you need to fix this. You need to do something to fix it. So the knee-jerk reaction, he goes in to tries to fix it and says, well, I got rid of so-and-so, and that buys him another week that he's trying to fix it. Mm-hmm. But at some point, he's gonna run out of mulligans. So the writing is on the wall. It's Eberflus.
Well, I mean, and I agree. I agree, because this new influx of athletic quarterbacks that are coming into the league, particularly their first year, their development isn't mostly dependent on them. Their development is dependent on the coaches who are coaching them, particularly their quarterback and offensive coordinator. They play a big part, a big role in whether or not these, again, athletic quarterbacks, like your Caleb Williams and Justin Fields and your Jaden Daniels, who's down in Washington, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach plays and can make that kid or break that kid starting his career in the NFL. You have to be really careful. Listen, there's not a whole lot you can do to improve a great athlete, but there's a whole lot you can do to mess him up. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. No.
Not a whole lot you can do to improve a great athlete. He's a great athlete. But there's a whole lot you can do to mess him up.
I think Caleb Williams is a good athlete. I think Caleb Williams is a great athlete.
I do too.
But let me ask you this, Irv. Let me ask you this. And let me ask both of you guys this. And think about it for a second before you answer. Daniels from the Commanders at Chicago right now, where would they be? Think about it.
They might
with
not
the
be
same
as
coach?
Yeah,
with the same coach?
Yes, same coach.
Yeah, they'd be maybe not as bad, but they'd be bad.
I think there's an element of Williams that plays a part here. There's an element of Williams that you have to put on the scale here.
Right now, Jaden Daniels, you know who he's being coached by? Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury, yeah.
Who Chicago overlooked and didn't hire him, and took this guy that they just fired.
But let me say this. I put Caleb Williams and DC. DC is not where DC is right now. I just don't think that Caleb Williams right now is at the maturity level of really understanding how important this game is. That this ain't no NIL money right now.
But that's coaching too.
I beg to
particularly your rookie year. That's coaching.
Yeah, man.
Cuss
If he's with
coaching,
Kingsbury
teaching
in
him,
Washington,
teaching
No,
him.
these guys. But here's
Yes,
the deal: these guys are not pawns. They still have decisions to make. I've seen decisions that Caleb Williams make opposed to Jaden Daniels make. They're totally different decisions.
he's not
I
happy.
see
He's
how
going
I
through.
see.
it doesn't even just
I
have to
see
do
how
whether he's
calm
happy or not.
Daniels is.
It has to do with whether he's being coached in a way that he understands how
He's
to make the
respondo,
decisions.
Irv.
He's got
Irv,
he's got to be coached to a point to where it's even like, okay, let's say let's back it up and let's go with a guy who's been in the league for a few years now. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Jalen last season, for whatever reason, new coordinator, they weren't getting it, man. He just wasn't getting it. He wasn't getting it. And it got worse as the season went on. And even the first part of this season, they got a new offensive coordinator, a new offense, who is a proven offensive coordinator. When Kellen Moore was with the Dallas Cowboys, they were in the top 5 offense every year. They were top 5 offense every year Kellen Moore was there. So he's a proven commodity in terms of being a quarterback coach, teaching his offense, and calling plays. It took all the way up until past the bye week for Jalen to start to grasp it, but it was to a point where they backed things off for him, and now it's gotten to a point to where now he understands it. He's able to do things with confidence, and that's coaching. We know Jalen can do it. We know Jalen can do it, but if he didn't understand what to do, he's hindered.
Let me tell you why I beg to differ. Because it was a different game plan. Hold it right there. Watch when Sirianni says on 4th and 4, we're going to go for it. Look at Jalen Hurts' face. That's game plan. More so than Jalen Hurts adapting to really what needs to be done.
I ain't talking about four. I'm not talking about fourth down calls to go on it. Go for fourth down on push or 2-point conversions. I'm talking about
what I'm saying is it's about players being positive, being responding positive to a game plan. More
But that's
so than how
coaching.
they're coaching.
That's what Irv is saying. If the coaching prepares them properly with the game plan, they're going to have a different perspective. They're going to come at it differently. And you know what? I want to add to what Irvin had said. I'll give you an example. Let's go with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has a new coordinator. This is his second year with him. But remember when he first came in, it was like, oh, it's a little different. But you know what they brought in along with that guy? His quarterback coach is T. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. And when he first came back to coaching, when he first came in, he didn't have T. Martin. But you're seeing over the last couple of years the maturation of him with this quarterback that understands it and is coaching him. And you see the difference along with the coordinator.
And since you bring up Lamar, right now, there's nobody even touching where Lamar is in terms of the quarterback position. He's so far out ahead of everyone else at that position in the league that it's crazy how much better he's playing than everybody else at the quarterback position.
So let me ask you this. Give me a ratio of responsibility. Chicago's coordinator, and we may not know the answer. Chicago's coordinator opposed to Caleb Williams' play.
Let me give you a personal example. Let me give you a personal example.
Points.
When I was a rookie coming in to New England, first of all, I wasn't even a receiver. I was a wingback. And Steve Endicott was my coach. I'm trying to figure out how do I run routes standing up in 2-point stance with this guy standing in front of me? What am I supposed to do? He didn't tell me nothing. He said, pick a side and go. What do you mean pick a side and go? Pick a side and go, hurry up and get open. Man, you know I struggled. You know how much I struggled my rookie year? Trying just to get off the freaking line of scrimmage. I was taught no skills. There was no coaching. There was nothing that was poured into me or given to me as a tool to help me, which was their responsibility, not mine. Yeah, I could take and use my athletic ability to make what they were teaching me happen and make it manifest itself on the field. But when a guy is a rookie, now if I'm 10 years in the league, yeah, I know a lot of what I'm doing. So yeah, you just tweak me here and there. Just push me a little bit right, push me a little bit left. But
Irving Fryar.
as a rookie, coaching is very, very. It's 70% of it.
That's
80% of it.
That's Irving Fryar. Irving Fryar.
What,
That's
Fred?
why you are a legend. That's why you are a legend. You figured it out.
That's a great segue. That's a great segue, Fred G. Sanford. So keep it moving. Let's go. Chop it out.
Let's go.
And the G stands for go.
Fred, go Stanford.
There's no way in hell that I think we don't have the same wide out of the week. No way.
Well, wait, listen. Richard Melton says, same coach, same results. If those first-year players aren't coached, they will be more reckless than to develop a great leader. That's your opinion. The bunker said, and he told the punter they didn't need him. I don't know who he's talking. Scott Teller's in the house. He says, salute. Gene Klein is in the house. Great coach he was talking about, I think, Westhoff. Gary Wright is in the house. Shout out to you, Gary. All right, go ahead, Fred.
So we got the wide receiver of the week, and I'm almost certain that we probably got the same guy. Irv, go ahead and spill out.
Well, yeah, we got the same guy, and that's good. We have the same guy. That way we don't spend a lot of time on it. But I just Jamar Chase, 11 catches, 17 targets, 11 catches, 264 yards, 3 TDs. Yeah. He averaged 24 yards a catch. 70 yards was his longest catch, y'all. But this season, that was his best performance in this season, y'all. And but he still fell short of his own 266-yard franchise record his first year as a rookie in 2021. That's crazy. He had that week in week 5. He burned the Ravens in week 5 too. Although they lost, I think they lost to the Ravens in week 5. But he had 10 catches, 193 yards, 2 TDs. There's only one way to describe this game for him, and that's being in the zone. When you hear people talk about, I was in the zone, playing in the zone. Yeah. When you do things that it just happens, you can't do any wrong. I don't care where you throw the ball. I'm catching it. I don't care what happens. I'm gonna make people miss. You're just in a zone, and this is a zone game for Jamar Chase, and apparently he's been in the zone several times. He's been in the zone several times because this cat is playing out of his mind. Jamar Chase, he's got 32 receptions, 416 yards, 5 TDs over the past 4 games. He's got 190 yards twice in 2024, y'all. Twice in 2024. This cat's balling. And you know what? His quarterback, Joe Burrow, is balling. They're just probably the best team with a losing record. They just can't win a game. But Joe Burrow's playing as good as any quarterback in the league right now, except for Jamar Chase. Except for Lamar Jackson. But yeah, Jamar Chase, the zone. They call it playing in the zone. He got in the zone. I used to call it playing in the Holy Ghost. Playing under the influence of the Holy Ghost. Playing in the Spirit is what I called it. Mike knows about that. I don't know about you, Fred. You know about that, Fred?
I'm gonna tell you something. There are times
you ever played in the Spirit?
I've had games where I literally surprised myself. I'm like, what just happened? I'll be in the locker room after the game, and I'm looking at my stats, and I'm like, I had 9 catches, 107.
Who goes in the locker room after the game and looks at their stats?
Well, I'm telling you,
that?
I was like, wow.
No.
I never did that. I mean, I had people come tell me what my stats were. Like the PR people come tell you what your stats are, but I never sat down and looked at my stats on a piece of paper. What are you talking about, Fred?
Yeah, I did. Well,
Lord have mercy.
Y'all.
You're different.
That's why y'all are legends, and I'm just a step down.
He keep track of his stats.
Step down further.
Oh Lord!
But you have those games where it seems like nothing can go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, too, I have to say this. There have been times when I've had a couple of friends in Philadelphia, the guys I hang out with, and I try to keep friends outside of football. Just to balance myself, And there were a couple of guys who were like, "Oh man, you made that catch, man. You were lucky." I'm like,
With luck. Yeah, nothing to do with luck.
I'm like, I don't believe in luck. I said, first of all, probability and luck can't coexist. So they're like, what do you mean by? I'm like, the chance that I could possibly do what I did, when there's a possibility that I could do it, I just did it. I did it. Can I do it 10 times in a row? No. But the chance that I had the chance to do it, and that I had the probability to do it, the percentage that I could do it, I did it. And that's not luck. And I said, luck, I told him, I said, it's luck if you go out there and do what I just did. That's what's luck. That's what's luck.
Kenneth Casper's in the house. What's going on, Kenneth? I said Eddie Casper's in the house. But I just wanted to, shout him out real quick because he just came on. Gene Klein is in the house. I think I said Gene Klein. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Hey, so the only thing I'll add to it, there's not much to add what you guys said. I was curious as to how he has played against Baltimore in prior games. So last year, interesting, game 1, he had Chase, we're talking about. He had 5 receptions for 31 yards, and Cincinnati won the game. Game number 2, he had 2 receptions for 12 yards, and they won the game. So what is so different this year that the only thing I can think of, they're playing him wrong. They're defending him wrong.
Right.
Because to go from that kind of stat last year to this
right.
year and just killing them both games.
Both games he killed them. Yeah.
They're doing something wrong defensively against him. So memo to the coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens coordinator.
You need to play him a little differently. So that's all I had.
But the thing is that
just he and Burrow just have gotten a little more in sync.
Yeah. Okay. And you have to understand too. I mean, of course, we all know this. You could line up in the same formation 3 times, and you may get 3 different coverages. So based on those 3 different coverages, a certain individual may be open, may not.
You're gonna bracket him. You're gonna bracket him.
You have to go through your
progression double him
as a quarterback.
But you're gonna double him.
They should be doubling him.
Obviously, of course.
So it ain't that different. It ain't that different. You're gonna double him.
Particularly after he caught 190 yards on him the first game, and then when he got to 150 yards in this game, they should have started bracketing him at least.
So defending him shouldn't be that different. That's
right. Right. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, he's killing him. He's got the recipe, at least against that defensive backfield.
All right, we got to roll. Let's roll right.
Well, now you want to roll.
Now you want to roll.
Oh, come on, y'all.
Now you want to act like you got some sense.
We got to roll into our surprise. Irv, let's give our surprise of the week.
You want my surprise of the week?
Is your name Irv?
Yeah, well, Irving.
So should I call you Irving?
Sensitivity.
Watch this. Here's my surprise of the week.
Oh.
Deebo Samuels, what in God's name was he wearing? Y'all want to see that again?
No.
What he got on, man?
This
generation here, bro.
Boy, I don't know what in the man. I'm ashamed. I am shamed. I'm just shamed.
Somebody said he wore a dress, and until you pulled that up, I didn't know what he had on. But somebody said he had a dress on.
That wasn't a dress; it was shorts.
Hey, dog.
Short shorts. Daisy Dukes look like Daisy Dukes.
Hey,
man, and then wait a minute, I got one more. Houston,
no. Stop.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston, We have a problem.
Oh, come on, man. No,
That's
I don't
Houston.
believe that. Somebody did that.
That's-
No,
I don't believe
no.
He
He
set on- he set on
he claimed
something, man.
James Houston for the Lions. He claims
He set on
that
something.
he set on some Gatorade.
Take me off your
Oh,
back
I'm sorry.
camera, please.
I'm sorry. Take you out. Yeah, I got to get you out of there. I'm sorry. I don't want to take the wrong one off.
Wow.
That's
I'm sorry. I can get
that's
you out of
not-
there. I don't want to take it out of there. Uh-oh. I took you out.
Oh, you done lost Fred?
Oh,
Now
come
y'all
on,
scared.
right there.
Come back, Fred.
I'm sorry. I'll bring you back.
Oh my God! What
I
are
had this
you
problem
doing?
last week. But yeah, that was yeah, Fred.
Not with us. Not
You're
with us.
there.
Should we go to commercial?
No, we don't need to go to commercial. But I'm sorry,
hear you,
Fred.
Fred. Just
I
keep
got me
talking.
on another
Keep talking,
camera in there. We hear you. I just messed the scene up.
Irv, I know you do. I'm sorry, Irving.
Uh-huh.
I know you're doing this because I'm hosting the show tonight. But
No,
that's fine.
I messed it up. It's okay.
No, that's fine. I got you, bro.
I can't. Oh, the
got
scene
you.
is locked.
Should
Okay.
we not say something
All
till
right.
you figure it
Keep
out?
it rolling.
Or
Keep it
should we
rolling.
just keep
So
talking?
here's the thing.
So
here's
he
the
said he
thing.
sat on some Gatorade, which is not the case.
Okay.
That's Gatorade.
That ain't no doggone Gatorade.
That's Gatorade.
That is not
Gatorade.
Gatorade. That's too well
That's
placed
orange. That's
to
orange
be
Gatorade.
Gatorade.
We need to move on from
That's
that.
orange Gatorade.
We need to move on from
all
that.
right.
Houston?
Whatever it is.
We have a problem.
Why is that a surprise? First of all, why is that a surprise, Irv? Why is that a surprise? He came in like a blue jumpsuit.
Because I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen that before. I played 17
up-
years, 4 years in college, 17 years in NFL. I've never seen that before, and I've never seen
get ready.
anybody sit in Gatorade and make a spot like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know he didn't poop on himself. You know that.
how you know that?
Okay. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that.
That's
And,
my.
and you know what?
Mike,
Here's
come on, Mike, give me a
Irv,
surprise.
the thing about the clothes that these guys wear to games, it's the equivalent of
The clothes?
You, for example, yeah, the clothes that he had, like for example, what Debo had on.
Debo
That's
had on?
equivalent to Irv. Remember
okay,
when
yeah.
you used to come to games with a fur on,
Yeah, so
right?
that's the same
it was
thing.
manly.
It's just,
It's a different day.
okay, well,
It's
that's a whole different.
day.
It's just, I'm just saying
It was
that
manly.
It's a different.
It's
No,
a
it was a
different
different
era.
day.
That's all I'm saying.
That's
all I'm
manly.
saying.
I
That's
mean,
all.
but here's the thing, Irv. Here's the thing, guys. Here's a guy who came in with that, and on the sideline, he punched one of his teammates.
His teammate must have
What-
said
what
something
was-
about his shorts. His teammate said something about his shorts. Man, don't be wearing them shorts.
Moving right along.
He punched him
My
because he got
surprise
offended
gonna be-
because somebody said something about his shorts.
I'm
Mike,
gonna be
what we
real
got?
quick.
What we got?
and
What's the surprise?
Here it is. My surprise is that Detroit won that game despite the 5 picks from Jared Goff. That right there blew
Oh,
my
yeah.
mind because I'm like, ain't no way y'all coming back from 5. You know what? I went to bed. It was 23-7. He had thrown 3 picks. I went to bed. I said, this is a wrap. I said, I've lost this pick. I said, I'm done. And they came back and won the game. So that was my surprise that they were able to come back after Goff had 5 picks, which that has me a little concerned about Houston, but that's for their defense for another topic, to let them
Yeah,
come back
okay.
after you pick them off 5 times.
Yeah, but
So
hats
that's
off
my
hats
surprise.
off to Detroit's defense as well, because they came out the second half, man, bang, intercepted
Yeah,
the ball
shut 'em
right off the
down.
bat. So shout out to, because they didn't score any points the second half.
No, not at
So
all.
shout out to Detroit's defense. They did a
Shout
great
out.
job.
So that's my surprise.
Shout out. All right, my surprise. Okay, analogy. So when you're hungry, and figuratively, you would think that every team in the NFL is hungry. So they do what they need to do to win, and you see the hunger. You see the hunger through play. How in the hell do
Why
the
you cussing?
Giants lose to the Panthers, dude? How?
Because the Giants suck.
How?
They almost as bad as
Oh
Dallas.
my gosh.
But how do you see that as a surprise when you got 2 duds
Yeah,
playing?
yeah. Over in London.
Dude.
I don't even know why they wasted the money to have them play over there.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you something. There's something wrong with the Giants, and it's Jones. There's something wrong with the Panthers, and it's the Panthers. It's a whole Panthers team, and it's just one guy, and it's so amazing because it's like I look at Jones, and I see him during the game. I'm watching him. I'm looking at his facial expression.
He looks really not with it.
Lost.
Yeah, he looks really not with it.
And I'm like, this is the guy they
Yeah.
chose over Saquon Barkley, who's right now the MVP of the Eagles.
And they sticking with him too. They sticking with Jones. They gonna
sticking
die with Jones.
him, dude.
They're
I
gonna
mean,
they're gonna
when-
crash and burn with him at the
When you
pilot.
think of
Yeah.
when you think of numbers for this game, Bryce Young threw 15 for 25, 126 yards. He had a touchdown. Hubbard, in my opinion, who basically was the game, he had 26. He had 28 carries for 153 yards and a touchdown. They had no receiver over 50 yards. Jones was 22 for 35, 190, no touchdown, two interceptions. Tracy, the running back, which, oh my God, I don't know if y'all saw this game, but I was bawling, laughing. Tracy had 18 carries, 103 yards, and he had the fumble inevitably to lose the game. And when he fumbled, and of course, the Panthers went on to win. He was sitting there with his hands over his head, and a trainer put a towel over his head.
Didn't you feel bad for the guy? Didn't you feel bad for him?
I felt bad for, but I'm like, here's the deal: if I make a catch, I fumble the ball, and we win, and I'm sitting there distraught. Don't come put a damn towel over my head. Get this towel off my head. Get this towel off my head. I'm good for next week. And the trainer,
tell.
whoever it was, just put a towel over his head, and he just sat there with the towel over his head. Man, the Giant. I put it this way: if there was, of course, we got a Super Bowl, but I think inevitably we need what we call a toilet bowl, which the two worst teams, like
Lord have
Chicago and the Giants, play each other and see who's the worst team. See who would be the worst team in the league. And those two teams, man, where. And I think of the fan base. I think of the fan base in New York. Of course, they got a fan base. I mean, we think of the Bears, the '85 Bears, McMahon. These guys, they won a Super Bowl. The Fridge. Walter Payton. These fans have to have a base that really understands what real football is about. Manning. They understand what real football is about, and they have to be at a level of disappointment that's just really off the scale right now. They have to be.
They got to
And
deal with it because
that's
the
a
Giants are
surprise.
terrible. So are the Panthers.
They're
They're both bad.
terrible.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
NFL blew that one.
Terrible. They terrible to the point that we're like, is it the players? It's always like this scale of who exactly who it is. And and I look back at Caleb Williams. Here's a guy, inevitably, of course you paid him this money, but and I mentioned this earlier. It's like you're not going to get rid of that guy. You're just going to put people in place to make sure he can rise or he can scale. So is it Daniel Jones scaling? Do we really see Daniel Jones scaling with a great coach? Yes or no?
Oh, so coaching does have something to do with it. Oh, okay.
There's an element of that. There's a balance in it.
We were just we just argued that for about 20 minutes, and you were stuck
No, hear what I'm saying.
on it's the responsibility of the
Daniel
player.
Jones scaling with a good coach.
No, he ain't scaling at all.
But at that point, if he
So
if
is
he's
that
not
on him?
scaling-
Is that on
No,
him
no,
or the
no,
coach?
No, hold on.
No, now you want to say no.
No. If he's not scaling at all, what does the coach have to do with it?
Coaching has a lot to do with it, just like we just said. Just like you just said. Go to the next topic, man.
No, I'm asking the question: can he scale with a good coach?
Oh, I think
I'm
so.
not sure.
But it's probably too late now. He's so messed up now. It's probably too
I'm not
late.
sure. I'm not sure if he can scale
He's
with a good
probably
coach.
he's been with a bad coach. It's been a bad system. It's been a bad time, a bad team since he's been in the league. So he's probably so messed up that he can't recover.
Well, a change of scenery will not hurt him.
That would probably help. Yeah, for sure.
So we won't know
Todd
unless there's a
McShay.
change.
Let me
There's
tell
a
you
change.
something.
But
Let
don't
me- let me
forget, a
say-
change of
let me-
scenery means a change of coaching.
That's my
Let
point.
me tell you this.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you this. And I really believe this because we've been talking about Daniel Jones all year. And we talked about him him last
We haven't
year.
talked about him that much because he stinks.
No, he's been
He
no,
ain't
no,
worth
no.
talking about.
No. We've been talking about him because he has been doing nothing. And simply because that the Giants basically told Saquon Barkley, like, no, we need to put our money into Daniel Jones, in which they did. Todd McShay on draft day, and look it up. Todd McShay said, I have no idea why the Giants are drafting Daniel Jones. Because I see the skill set, I see who he is as a player, and he is a backup at best. And he was right on target. He was right on target. All right, let's move. Let's move. We are on to the game of the week, and then we have. Yeah. Y'all don't want to. Y'all don't like when I host. We are on to the
Mike
first
just
No
said,
one
Monday
said
okay.
anything. No one said anything, Fred. Go ahead.
He said, you don't like when I host.
All right, the game of the week. Oh, AFC North rivals. Mike, let's get your thoughts on the game of the week. And we have picked. Let me say, by the way, we have picked Baltimore and Pittsburgh. The 7-3 Baltimore against the 7-2 Pittsburgh Steelers of the
At
game
Pittsburgh.
of the week. At Pittsburgh.
They're going to play at Pittsburgh. I'm going to
Yes,
go
sir.
with Baltimore. I just think Baltimore, for me, that game is a great game. I'm looking forward to it. But the deciding factor for me is, and we mentioned him earlier, is Lamar Jackson. He's balling. That one's easy for me to select Baltimore. So I'm going with Baltimore. Two great teams, two great defenses. I like everything that Pittsburgh's doing. I like what Wilson is doing, but I got to give the nod to Lamar Jackson and a strong running game that they will need. And I'm going with Baltimore.
Talk to me. I'm sorry.
I think I'm going to have to agree with Mike. Najee Harris for the Steelers, he had been running pretty well up until last week, and he didn't do much last week. And Pittsburgh, though they do have a strong defense and play well against the run, the Ravens have Derrick Henry, and they got Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson is, he's a lot, and he hasn't really been doing a whole lot with his legs. He only does what he needs to do when he needs to do it with his legs. And I think this is a game where you're going to see a lot of Lamar Jackson because, it's like you said, it's a battle for the North. And, he shows up. And I think he's determined this year, after falling short last year, to get back to the top and to do his very best to win this thing. Tomlin and Harbaugh have the most meetings out of any two coaches in the history of the NFL. Tomlin is yeah.
Wow.
Yep, and Tomlin is ahead 20 wins to Harbaugh's 15, but I have to give this one.
Wow.
I have to give this one to Harbaugh.
Wow, this is an interesting game, man, because it's like, every team have their characteristic of what's positive for the team, and of course we've seen Baltimore lose games. It was like no way they lost that game. And even that loss against, I think, the Browns. It's amazing because it's like when you look at the numbers, it kind of balances and it kind of makes you question, like, oh my goodness, what's really going to happen here? And I think if we had have looked at these two teams or looked at this particular game at the beginning of the season, knowing who Lamar Jackson is, knowing who Pittsburgh had in place, which is two quarterbacks, and who's going to start, we're like, no way, Baltimore's going to win this game. And with Russell Wilson coming in and just being really a consistent player and who he has been over the years and, that Super Bowl type of, play, when you look at the numbers, man, it's amazing because Baltimore is they are first in overall offense. Offensive yards at 440 yards a game. First in rushing at 182 yards a game, opposed to giving up 73 yards, which is crazy. Lamar Jackson is passing for 157, and the defense is giving up 194, which is right in the middle there. But Pittsburgh, 23 points they averaging, and they're giving up only 16. They're eighth in rushing and 138 yards and only giving up 87 yards a game. And when you look at that, them giving up 87 yards a game and Baltimore's averaging 182 rushing, whoa. And we're talking about rushing yards. Let me back up. We're talking about rushing yards. Whoa, man, this could be a 12th rounder, and as a matter of fact, Pittsburgh is 8th in total defense. So I have to say I'm pleasantly surprised that Justin Fields did what he did. I'm pleasantly surprised that Wilson came in after Justin Fields did what he did and continued to push forward. And
so you picking Pittsburgh?
He gonna get there eventually, Mike.
We're not picking this game. We're not picking this
He gonna get there eventually, Mike.
This is not just a game we'll pick. I mean, it's just a show, right? Okay.
Who you picking?
But we're not picking this game.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Are we?
It won't
Thursday,
count.
Sunday,
It won't
Monday.
count. It's just who's your pick. It's not going to
Because-
count on the thing, but just what's your pick?
Can I dialogue about the game?
Ain't no dialogue, it's a monologue.
Come on, man. Chop, chop.
All right.
Hey,
I
it stopped
think-
being
I
a
think-
dialogue a long
I
time
think-
ago. It's a monologue.
I think Baltimore gonna win the game. Here's what I predict. I predict Russell Wilson.
Get in the screen, man. Move yourself over to your left and
I
get in the
predict-
screen.
I
Thank you.
predict Russell Wilson throws a fourth quarter interception. How about that?
That's possible. That's highly possible.
He threw some great balls this last game.
Oh, he's
I
throwing
will
some great
give him
balls.
He
Yeah.
threw some great balls.
How about
Okay,
that?
cool.
Them doggone
All right.
moon balls he be throwing down. Pickens is
All right,
killing
let's
it
go.
too.
We
They
got
50-50.
Thursday night.
All right.
We got
Thursday night.
We got Thursday night. We got Eagles, Washington. We got Birds, Commanders, Cincinnati, Chargers, Houston, Dallas, Irving. I'm sorry. Yeah, Irving. Yeah, that's right. I don't want to get your name wrong. Irving. What we got?
So I believe the Eagles have a distinct advantage in this game. One,
Yeah.
the Commanders, they had to fight tooth and nail all the way through. And all three of us know how tough it is, that turnaround is when you got that Thursday game. So they battled the whole game and still lost the game, disappointing, obviously. But the Eagles beat Dallas handily, and the starters were out. And they didn't even play the fourth
They
quarter.
didn't play.
So and Saquon Barkley only carried the ball 14 times in that game. He only had 66 yards. I think it's 66 yards, 48 yards, one of those two. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my numbers mixed up with different players.
5 more carries
in my
over
head.
100.
Yeah, but they're rested, and I think that's a significant advantage when you talk about this turnaround. And plus the way they had to play that game all the way through, the Commanders, and eventually lost. I think that gives the Eagles not only are they more talented, obviously, but it gives them a significant advantage in that quick turnaround. So the Eagles, I'm taking the Eagles.
Yep.
I'm going to take the Chargers, and I'm going to take the Titans.
Ooh, Chargers.
Eagles, Chargers,
The
Titans.
Titans are not playing. Who?
Oh, I meant Texans. I meant the Texans. I'm sorry. I got the T right.
Okay.
The Texans.
Okay, yeah.
Texans, Monday Night Football, Texans
You
against
should-
Cowboys.
you should have said, when I'm
Cowboys
taking
are a dumpster fire. Do you hear me? They're the Keystone Cops. They are a dumpster fire. They are ridiculously embarrassing to the NFL right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how bad they are. And the team is just and this game is at home for the Cowboys, but the Texans are going to go
All right,
in there
Mike.
and beat them for the Lone Star battle.
All right.
Mike, I'm gonna give you the last word.
I think-
Mike, I'm
I
gonna give
think
you the
the
last
Eagles-
word. I'll let you go last, Mike.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Eagles over Washington simply because I feel like there's a chip on the Eagles' shoulder because I think Washington has played them very well in Philly, and I think I'm hoping that Philly is like going to put a chip on their shoulder and show them really what the NFC East is all about, and they're the champ. But I take the Birds. Irv, I'm going to take Cincy. I think you took the Chargers. Although Cincy is 4-6, the Chargers are 3-6. I think that connection with Burrow and Chase is going to continue for until this week. So I'm taking Cincy, and I think Chase is going to have a great game.
Chargers have are the number one defense in the league right now, bro.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
I am going to take Houston. I'll take anybody over Dallas right now. So
Yeah, of course.
If Houston was called anybody, I would take anybody over Dallas right now. Dallas at this point they can't even. I think they're complaining about the sun being in the stadium and they can't see the ball and they have the ability to make sure where they are based on where the sun is. I'm it's a drama queen show right now with Dallas. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win another game. So I'll take anybody over Dallas right now.
They may implode. Jerry's like, hey, that
I'll take-
sun is making me money somehow. So that sun is.
You want me to build a new stadium? Tear the stadium down, build a new one.
I'll take Dallas's practice squad over the starters right now.
All right. So,
I think
Houston, you got Houston. I have Houston as well over Dallas. That's a no-brainer. The Sunday night game, Cincy and the Chargers. I like what's happening with the Chargers. I'm just going to go with Harbaugh. I think that whole rah-rah thing that he brought, who's got it better than us? Nobody. I just think
that's college. Go ahead.
Oh, they're riding it though. They're 6-3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the Chargers. The Thursday night game tomorrow night. I'm gonna step out on a limb, fellas.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Step out on a limb.
I ain't scared.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you why.
Tell us why. I'm gonna give you the screen.
The Eagles, and Jalen Hurts. I believe Dan Quinn will have something for him. He's never lit up the Dallas Cowboys. Dan Quinn is in Washington, better team, defense flying around. He's trying to prove something. I know their
defense is not that good.
I agree. They're not that good.
They can't stop the run.
They can't. I have it written down, Herb, but I'm gonna step out, bro. I'm gonna step out.
All Jalen gonna do is hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley, bro.
I know.
That's all he's gonna do.
You know what? But they're gonna put a little pressure on Jalen, and he gonna throw a couple picks. Because the pressure. Because remember, I'm gonna leave you with this thought. I said this our very first show. I said the problem with the Eagles, they don't manage expectations well. Just mark my word.
Okay, but
Let it be written, but let it be done.
But if you're talking about pressure, Jalen, the stats speak very well about he got pressured 53.6% of the game this last week, and he was
Against who?
Against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about pressure. He got pressure.
Thank you.
They blitzed. Okay, but still, against the blitz, He
You
was
just said
7
they
for 9,
dumpster
115 yards, 2 touchdowns against the blitz.
You just said they're dumpster fire, so you can't use
They
that
are
as a
dumpster fire.
basis for your argument. Don't use the Cowboys.
They are dumpster fire. He still got sacked. What did he get sacked? 3, 4, 5 times? How many times did he get sacked?
We're just gonna move ahead of him, Irv. Let him go.
Hey, step out there. I ain't scared.
No,
Hey,
you out there
Penn-
now.
Penn-
You out
Penn-
there now.
Penn State better step out there.
Listen,
Penn State better do.
Scott Teller said, Michael Timpson, do you think it's time to move on from James Franklin at PSU?
He lose another game, they're gonna move on for him for another game. They're gonna run him out of there. To answer that question,
Scott, you got your answer.
he ain't beating Ohio State. He borrowed time. Go ahead.
He on borrowed time.
Yes,
One
sir.
more question, Irv. And one more question.
James Hicks, what's going on, James Hicks? Isn't that James Hicks? Isn't James Hicks? You're supposed to go over to YouTube and search for White House World and subscribe and come on YouTube. Get off the Facebook page, James Hicks. He said, hopefully my Steelers can beat them Ravens. I don't see any more questions. Just stop. Richard Melton said.
Richard Melton.
No, I want to give a.
Wait, hey,
no,
let's ask him.
Richard Melton,
Buffalo. What is Buffalo going to do?
What's
Good
Buffalo
luck-
going to
good
do?
luck, Richard Melton.
Eddie Casper said earlier, and this was to you, Fred. He said, "Move on." Thanks, Mr. T.
Hey, we all have our moments. I love it. We have our moments.
Hey, that was our show
Bridget
tonight.
Tribbett,
Oh, we got-
Satchel says, "What's going on?" He ain't scared. She, LOL, he ain't
Who we
scared.
talking about?
I don't know who she's talking about, but that's what she said. I'll put it up on the screen.
All right, that was.
Talking about,
Don't say
talking
that's
about
what
me
she
when I
said.
said I ain't scared. I ain't
Mr. Hicks, that's what I'm talking about. Do y'all see how Mr. Hicks responded that fast? He's on YouTube right now. Let me throw him up on YouTube. He said, I'm in the right place
All right,
now.
Mr.
Yes, you are, sir. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Hicks is in
Yes,
the
sir.
house.
All right, we're done.
Hey, you know what, Fred? Hey, hats off to you, brother. You pulled it in. You brought it home. What time is it?
It's 8:06.
What time?
He's still
All right,
overtime.
you pulled it home, but we ain't
I
for
bring
a
home the
while,
bacon,
boy. We was out there. We was out there for a while. You brought it home.
Welcome to a thank you for tuning in to another show of White House World. I'm Fred Barnett.
Can I shout out to everybody?
Irv.
Can I shout
Go
out to
ahead, give a
everybody?
shout out.
These are the people that are supporting us. You got to acknowledge
Go
them.
ahead, Irv.
What's up? Don't look. Stop frowning your face. The bunkers in the house. James Hicks, shout out to you. Scott Teller, Bridget
the bunker.
Tribbett, Satchel, Richard Melton, Joseph Casaretto, Eddie Casper, Scott
Eddie
Teller, Kenneth Casper Sr. Shout out to you. Gene Klein, shout out. Gary Wright, shout out. I said the bunker. My mama, shout out to you, mama. Hope Wiley, shout out to you. That's my sister.
Hope Wiley.
Yeah, she's always
Who's
on.
out-
Mom and
who's
my
out in-
sister always
in
supporting us.
Washington?
Who's out in Washington? No, that's Florence. That's Aunt Florence. She's not on tonight.
Florence, okay.
All right, that's
Okay,
it.
cool.
You can do your
Good.
thing now,
All
bro.
right, all right.
All right,
well,
Richard,
thank you
Richard,
guys
we
for-
going for Buffalo, Richard. Go Buffalo.
Yeah, we are going for Buffalo. You
Go
know what?
Buffalo. Who Buffalo playing?
Kansas City is setting
The
themselves up.
Chiefs. The Chiefs.
They set themselves
Are they in
up for a
Buffalo
big
or they in
loss.
Kansas City?
Yep, they're in Buffalo. In Buffalo.
They're in Buffalo.
What you
Gonna be a good
think,
game.
Richard?
We got a
All right,
good
guys.
weekend, guys.
He
We got a
put
good
dot.
weekend, guys.
He put dot on there. dot.
We got a good weekend of football, guys. We got a lot of good games.
Yes, sir.
All
Appreciate
right.
you guys tuning in. I'm Fred Barnett with the legends, Michael Timpson and the Irving Fryar.
White House
Thank
World.
you for tuning in. White House World. We'll catch you next week. We out.
It's been Whiteout's World.
Touchdown.
Not one, not two, but three NFL legends. Fred Barnett, Irving Fryar, and Michael Timpson. Are you freaking kidding me? If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Whiteout's World. See you next time.
Let's go. Let's go. 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 Go.